The girl had not spoken in 742 days, a little over 2 years. Yet at dawn, as sunlight slipped through lace curtains and dust motes hovered like held breath, Sophia sat upright in her bed and said softly, "Vovó, you don't have to be afraid anymore." Her grandmother froze in the doorway. The words were not only spoken, they were right. No doctor had taught her this. No therapist had unlocked it. And what Sophia would say next would reach far beyond that small house in Brazil, into griefs she'd never known, hearts she'd never met, and questions no one could explain. This is the story of the girl who woke up speaking the missing words. Sophia Almeida had once been a talker. Not loud, not demanding, but constant in the way a brook is constant. Soft questions, half-sung observations, stories told to no one in particular. She spoke to ants crossing the sidewalk and to the moon when it appeared too early in the sky. Then, one afternoon, she didn't come home speaking at all. It was a humid Tuesday in Campinas. Helena remembered because the air felt heavy, the kind that presses against your skin and makes patience thin. Sophia had been at her cousin's house. There had been shouting, grown-up voices raised too suddenly, too sharply. A crash of something ceramic. A door slammed. No one ever said it was that moment. But from that day on, Sophia did not speak. At first, everyone assumed it was temporary. Shock, fear. Children closed up sometimes. The pediatrician said to wait. A week passed, then 2. Sophia nodded, shook her head, followed instructions. She ate, she slept, she drew pictures with alarming detail. Houses, eyes, doors without handles. But she did not speak. By 3 months, specialists used words like selective mutism and trauma response. By 6 months, Helena stopped counting how many times she begged her daughter to say anything at all. "Just one word, meu amor," she whispered at night. "Any word." Sophia would press her face into her pillow and remain silent, her breathing steady, her eyes wide open in the dark. At school, children stopped asking questions. Teachers spoke around her. Adults lowered their voices, as if silence were contagious. What frightened Helena most was not that Sophia wouldn't speak. It was that sometimes, when spoken to, Sophia looked like she knew too much already, as if words were no longer necessary. 2 years passed, 742 days. Dr. Marcelo Ramos had stopped promising breakthroughs. He still met Sophia weekly, still placed toys carefully on the table, still asked gentle questions she never answered aloud. But he watched her eyes. They followed him not like a child's, but like an adult assessing truth. "She hears everything," he told Helena once, quietly, in the hallway. "More than we realize." Rosa, Vovó, believed something else entirely. She believed Sophia's silence had made room. Rosa had lost her husband the same year Sophia stopped speaking. 39 years together, gone in one hospital night. She rarely cried anymore. Grief had hardened into something heavier, something quieter. Often, Rosa would sit at the kitchen table late at night, staring at nothing, whispering prayers she no longer believed would be answered. Sophia would sit across from her, swinging her legs, watching. One night, Rosa murmured, "I'm so tired." Sophia reached across the table and placed her small hand over Rosa's. She squeezed once. Firm, intentional. Rosa looked down, startled. For a moment, she swore she felt something pass between them, like warmth moving upstream. But Sophia said nothing. The dream came 3 nights later. Sophia found herself standing in a place without walls. Light had weight there. It folded around her like fabric. Before her stood a woman, tall, luminous, neither young nor old. Her eyes were deep and kind and impossibly sad. The woman knelt. She touched Sophia's throat gently, as if feeling a pulse. "You have been keeping words safe," the woman said, "but they are not meant to stay inside you." Sophia tried to answer. No sound came. The woman smiled. "Tomorrow," she said, "you will wake up speaking. Not everything, only what is needed." "Why me?" Sophia asked, though she wasn't sure if she spoke it or thought it. "Because you listen," the woman replied. And then she was gone. Sophia woke before sunrise. The house was quiet, wrapped in that fragile stillness that exists only in early morning. She sat up slowly, hand pressed to her throat. It felt normal. She patted down the hallway in her socks. The kitchen light was already on. Rosa stood at the counter, staring out the window, her shoulders slumped under an invisible weight. Sophia stopped. She didn't plan the words. They rose on their own. "Vovó?" she said. The sound startled even her. Rosa turned slowly. "Sim?" Sophia took a breath. "You don't have to be afraid anymore," she said. "He isn't alone." Rosa's knees buckled. She grabbed the counter to stay upright. Helena rushed in moments later, drawn by a sound she hadn't heard in 2 years. Her mother sobbing loudly, uncontrollably, with Sophia's voice threading through the air like something remembered. Sophia spoke little that day, only a few sentences, but each landed with uncanny precision. To her mother, "It wasn't your fault." To Rosa, "He still hears you." Doctors rushed in explanations. Psychological release, delayed processing, the brain catching up. But none could explain why Sophia knew things no one had told her, or why, when Dr. Ramos asked gently, "How did it feel to speak again?" Sophia answered, "Like opening a window that was always supposed to be there." Word spread quietly at first. A school counselor asked Sophia to sit with a boy who cried every day at lunch. Sophia said only one thing to him. "She misses you too," she whispered. The boy stopped crying. A neighbor grieving a miscarriage crossed paths with Sophia outside the gate. Sophia looked up and said, "It wasn't time yet, but it will be." The woman wept in relief she couldn't explain. Helena tried to protect her daughter, to shield her from labels and expectations. "She's just a child," she told people. "Please don't make her carry more than she should." And Sophia never overreached. She did not predict. She did not warn. She did not claim visions. She only spoke when words were missing. Dr. Ramos watched carefully. "She's not overwhelmed," he noted. "If anything, she seems lighter." One evening, Helena asked softly, "Do you still see the woman?" Sophia shook her head. "She said I wouldn't need her anymore." "Do you miss her?" Sophia thought for a long moment. "No," she said. "I think she misses us." Years passed. Sophia grew into her voice naturally. She laughed. She argued. She told stories. The moments of knowing became fewer, quieter, like embers instead of flame. She never spoke of the dream again, unless asked. Rosa lived lighter. Helena slept better. Life returned to its ordinary chaos. On Sophia's 10th birthday, Dr. Ramos visited with a gift, a small notebook. "For words," he said. Sophia smiled. "Some things," she replied, "don't need to be written down." That night, Rosa lit a candle at the table where she once whispered her grief. Sophia watched the flame dance. "Vavô," she asked, "do you think miracles always look big?" Rosa shook her head. "No, I think sometimes they look like silence ending." Sophia nodded. Outside, the night held steady. No signs, no voices, just the quiet sense that something unseen had passed through their lives. Not to stay, but to restore balance. And that was enough. Some miracles shout. Others wait patiently, hidden in silence, timing, and the courage to listen. Sophia's gift was never about prophecy. It was about presence, about saying the words others couldn't reach on their own. If this story moved you, consider what words might be waiting in your life. Words of healing, forgiveness, or hope. If you believe timing matters, if you've ever felt guided without understanding how, like, share, and follow Lanes and Lanterns for more stories where light arrives exactly when it's needed. And tell us in the comments, have you ever experienced a moment that can't be explained but changed you anyway?